Okay, so you downloaded the free trial. One thing I just wanted to say, when you install the software, just right click on it when you go to install it and just do run as administrator. And then when you open the software to actually run it, do the same thing. Right click on it, do run as administrator. All right. Now, when you do it for the first time, you open the software, it's going to give you two options: evaluate, full featured version, or activate. Now, when you evaluate it, it's just going to obviously be a fresh install. So I'll do that and I'll show you. Um, Now, one thing I just want to say is the name of the software on your computer is going to be full featured version. So just so you know, so when you actually go to look for it in your program files, you can actually find it. Um, okay, so beyond that, what you're going to see is what you see here. And what I'm going to do is just go through the very basics just so you can just get a feel for the software and just see what it can do. So the first thing is you have your main database. Okay, your main database is just going to be when you actually upload files to the computer. I'm sorry, when you upload data to the software. So what I mean by that is pretty much websites. Now the software is going to go through them and obviously go to every single website, try to find a contact us page, and autofill it out, right? And it can do pretty much about 300 an hour. So very powerful stuff. It definitely generate a ton of leads for you. So the first thing to do when you first set this up is go to configurator. Actually, I'm sorry. Go to information to submit. Now here you're going to input your information. So this is when for the filling out the form. So first name is your first name, phone number is your phone number, email, and all this stuff. You don't have to fill it all out because most contact us form pages don't have all this information, and even if it does, you don't really need to fill it out anyway. So I would just put maybe under first name. If you don't want to put your first name, put company name under first name. Phone number, you can put your phone number, company number, your email address. And then what you can do is in the subject line, obviously, you're just going to put whatever your subject line is. So let's just say if you're a merchant, cash advance company, and you want to, target these companies to do extra working capital, you can just write that down. Say, interested in extra working capital for your business. That could be the subject line. So when they receive this is what they'll see in the subject line. And then you can write everything about your business. So, up to 500,000 in unsecured loans, go to our site at whatever, right? So just put your message as whatever the message is going to be. You can put your phone number, your website, a little information. Let's just say, whatever you do. So bad debt, okay, no upfront fees, no application fees. But let's just say you are, web design company. You want to sell mobile sites. Maybe you're a commercial cleaning company. Whatever the type of business you're in, it doesn't matter. You should put the subject, the message, and this is exactly what will go in here to to the company's email. So now what happens is after that, well, one other thing that you can do is you can actually put in these replacements. So let's just say for company name, if you wanted to be more personalized, you can put first name. So you could do underscore first name, and what that's going to do is when you upload data, let's just say when you get data from us, and we provide you with the 50,000 records to start, that's going to be filled in, right? So you're going to have name, address, and all that stuff in there. Now what's going to happen is if you put first name, then it's going to put the first name of whatever's in the file, which is most likely the business owner. So you can do that if you wanted to and try to make it more personalized. And you can say, let's just say if you're a web designer, you can say, company website, right? So whatever their website is, needs a new design, whatever you want to do, right? Or if you're an SEO company, say company website, whatever it is, doesn't rank on the first page of Google for your most popular keywords, right? So you can do that. And then now let's just say you do that and you're like, well, what happens if, there is no company website or there is no first name in the database? You can do default values, and then under default values, you can put in, if it's a company website or company name, you can do business name or business. You got to obviously word it correctly so it makes sense for whatever you put your default value in. So let's just say first name, maybe do business owner. So maybe for business owner, so if first name doesn't appear, then it just says business owner, right? So you figure that out for whatever works for you. So that's pretty much the main thing you need to do. You need to fill out this page. The other stuff up here, I really wouldn't worry too much about for now anyway, just to kind of get this thing going. And then your main database, go back to here. What happens is you can do a web search. You can upload data, right? When you upload data, it's going to give you options on how to upload it. You can browse for a file and upload the data here. And if we give you the database, then you can upload it right through here and everything will be done. Um, when you do upload data, and it will be company issue data. So if we provide you with the data, it'll be company issue data. So we try to like set it up so the fields are correct. And you also want to strip off subpages from main URL. So you only need one website per company. So you don't need to, have 10 different URLs for the same company. So that's just the only other thing you really want to do here when you upload data, and everything's kind of filled out for you. There are other ways to do it if you buy, data from anybody else or scrape stuff like Facebook scrape or whatever. There's other ways to do stuff here. All right, so that's when you upload data. The other way to do it is do a web search. So this is the simple and easy way to do it for now, just to kind of get this thing going. So let's just say you're targeting florists. So you could do New York florists in New Jersey and do all the local florists or whatever business if you're looking for business owners, or I'm sorry, if you're looking for commercial cleaning company, whatever type of business you're looking for, whether it's manufacturing companies, who knows. Anything you want, you put it right in there, and this does a Google search. All right, and again, you want to make sure that your strip off subpages from main URL is always checked here, and you're good to go, right? On the left side, this is where you exclude stuff. So let's just say if you are targeting florists, maybe you put in like 1-800 flowers and stuff like that, Yellow Pages and all those other companies that you just don't want to go after. Doesn't really matter too much if you do that or not, because the bigger companies aren't going to really matter anyway. But if you want to do that, it's fine. Put as many keywords or extensions like .gov or .edu, so it eliminates all those. Maybe you want to do Bing Maps or Bing or Yellow Pages or whatever, and so that'll eliminate those. But let's just say you do a search. Now again, it's just going to go through Google. On the bottom left here, it's checking exclude terms, so it gets rid of those, and then it just has them populate. So I'm just going to hit stop. So that will go in as many as it's going to do, and then and it can search up to 1,000, as you can see here. And then all you do is you select all, upload data. It's going to put it all right here. So, and then if you have a bigger screen, you won't have this problem with me scrunching everything here. But I'm just doing this. It's small for the video that I'm doing. So right here, you're going to see everything. Right, and then on the bottom here is when you actually hit the start button. So this is your database, and it's going to give you what it did, submitted, your email. So now you hit the start button and it's going to start doing it. Okay, so let's just hit the start button, and then what happens is you're going to tell it, let's just say you have 1,000,000 records in here. What you want to do is you don't want to do 1,000,000 at a time, or even 10,000 at a time, maybe like 1,000 at a time. But you can basically set it to do maybe do it to the next 10,000 or 1,000 or 500 or to item ID or to the end of the list. But since it's a small list, it's only like 10 of them here, we can do that. So you press OK, and then I'm just going to stop it. Now, and then what it does is it goes through and gives you all the information. So submitted obviously failed because I stopped it. But if you actually did this, it's going to start pulling emails for you and populate as much information as possible. Then on the bottom, it's going to tell you the actual websites it's doing. And then the only numbers that you really want to check here is the completed submissions. So you want to make sure that this number is the completed submissions is the only number you really care about. And then it's also going to tell you how many emails it found. So then after it does the completed submissions, it's also going to extract emails. You can take those emails, export them out. So you can export data here. You click that, and then you basically say, or what information do you want to export? You make your file. So go make let's just say leads dot Excel, and then you browse for that file, and then just make sure it's an empty Excel file. Just basically open Excel and save it without even touching it. call it leads, and then when you do that, and when you hit browse, you search for that file, and then it'll make a new one. So be like leads one, number one. So just make that in its own folder so you have everything in one spot, and then you can extract all the information. You pull out those emails, dump them into an email campaign, and start emailing out. All right. After all that, then you just rinse and repeat. Again, upload files or upload data. You can buy your own data. You can do the web search, do it however you want. It doesn't matter. And then you'll start seeing in my other demo video, within literally a minute, I had 10 submissions, or not even a minute, but it was basically already 10 submissions. So you'll see that this thing will just crank for you to drive in leads. So that's pretty much it for the basic demo for the free trial. You can just play around with it, but you'll see that it can do everything you need. And and all this here is just filters. So when you do have a ton of data in here, let's just say 100,000 files, you can pull stuff out. If you say, I just want to hit a certain city, certain SIC code, certain state, it'll filter all this out for you as much as you want, and it'll just hit them. So let's just say you want to do a contact us form for just companies in New York, or just companies in California, right? Or maybe just certain verticals, and you just want to go after florists, or manufacturing companies, or just office buildings, or law firms, or whatever. So that's it. So if you have any questions, give us a call. Number's 631-615-0024. You have a good day.